Ruby. Okay, and we're going where? Oh, that's not the right page, is it?
I believe. And once the war occurs, even if you're the innocent victim and you're waging a war of defense, it still represents a commitment, it still represents an element of bargaining, and still represents a matter of some type of concession or extraction that you want. It's almost like a contractual negotiation, except you're using force. And there's a bargaining going on. Okay, so what I'm getting at is it is not a pleasant statistic. It's very hard to find any society, almost any society in the world that has not been in conflict at some point. And again, that goes to the idea of behavioralism, and that maybe it is built into people. Let me talk about one more theory that's important. What are the benefits gained from war? Okay, the war happens, either an offensive war, a war of aggression, or a war of defense. Earlier examples of wars that were a stimulus for Britain, Napoleonic Wars, although that could have been crippling, but because it did win, it opened up a lot of opportunities for Britain to trade in Western Europe and Central Europe. So the Napoleonic Wars can be seen as a stimulus for the British economy in the 19th century. The colonial wars would be seen as a boon or a stimulus. So there are economic gains to be acquired from the war. The development of industry, the acquisition of land through conquest, the opening of markets, the opportunity to extract raw materials, the opportunity to then take raw materials, make finished products, and then sell it to the people in these colonies. So war does have positive economic gains. And if a state is an expensive piece of machinery, think of the state as it's almost a delicacy of all the cogs of a grandfather clock or a watch, all these different cogs going. Except it is very, very expensive to run. Constantly, you have to keep supplying it with money. It's a bottomless money pit to run a state. So therefore, war is a positive gain, so long as you can control the war. If you can put a framework on the war, it can be actually a positive boon for the state. There is a humanitarian consideration, and under Article 51 of the Charter, you could have a war for peace. In other words, if Saddam Hussein killed 250,000 of his own people, that's well beyond the litmus test for invading the country to remove that person under the laws of genocide. Okay? Sadly, the Western powers didn't do anything for years and years and years. But that is a legitimate reason, and the law, the UN Charter, Article 51, permits that.
Really?
But yeah, they're much more, I don't know,
Let's see if it works.
Well, it's only going on paper, so I'll have to give
really?
you a call if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Bacteria that smells, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
that's what smells.
I think the crystal ones...
yeah, if it's a neutral thing,
yeah.
it'll just have things that will
Yeah.
help, yeah.
But you still sweat, and I don't like
The only way to stop sweating is
antiperspirant. Yeah, it's a difficult situation.
It is.
In the end, we are animals, aren't we?
Yeah, it's okay.
Plus, anyway,
Yeah.
sweat's fine as long as it doesn't smell.
When I first met my second husband, he was into this showering every day, and my sister's the same. And I said, you don't have to shower every day. I mean, that's ridiculous, the amount of water.
I've got friends that shower two or
He just has to have his shower. It was a sort of a routine thing, and that. But because when we were little, we just used to have one bath a week.
I know. Well, this is what I keep
Mum
thinking.
used to run the bath,
Yeah.
and then two of us.
You all
would have to
jumped
go-
in.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what I did. One bath a week, and then it was a wash every night, hands, face, and bum, every night.
Yeah, it's a psychological thing, though, isn't
That was
it?
it. That was all you did. So to me,
I don't think we had that
is not.
wash. It was round the back of your ears for some stupid reason. I mean, what the hell's going on here?
They make sure you clean behind your ears. And next.
So, out of all the, and the brain, but the eye, he looks at the eye, and even in there, he wrestled with the fact that the eye is just such a immensely complex structure with millions of receptors which had to fire and work in precisely the right way. And it was one of his, it was to be a Christian first rather than Seventh-day Adventist, rather than trying to convince people that my particular take on religion is the one. I would rather try to expose people to the concept that arriving at the truth and finding God, who I believe who is truth, is actually an individual a path, and that many people who call themselves Christians, there's always this thing about Christianity actually has caused, or religion I would say has caused, not Christianity, because religions have caused most of the wars throughout history, and it's because they're trying to prove that their way to get to God, I mean it's funny, is the only way. And I no longer accept. I don't think I accept that. I like to think that the church I go to is one that is hopefully seeking after truth, and that's why I'm there, because I'm trying to seek after a way of living which I believe is true.
Because from my own experience, I was born in an Adventist home, okay, and then I decided to just break away. It was my free will.
Yeah.
And I've always been respected and supported by my family, and especially by my mum. She was a bit sad, okay, to see me just going away. And then I don't know, I was away for about 5 years, and I decided to come back by myself. And that just helped me to make up my own mind. So I wasn't influenced by my own community. That can challenge the concept that people sometimes are, controlled or influenced by their community or cultural background. I can prove that didn't work with me. So my decision of coming back, it was my own decision. For example, my sister, she used to be, she's not anymore, and believe me, we don't fight because of that. She is my best friend.
Yeah.
And I really mean it. We get on so well. We've got a lot of things in common. I don't know. And I've got a lot of people who used to be Christians, they're not anymore, or the other way around. I don't have any problem. And sometimes people, that's what I find a bit problematic. People tend to think inside of the box. I don't really care if I've got friends from church or from outside. I'm quite adaptable. And I've got a wide range of friends. And sometimes people who have nothing to do with me, with my background, whether professional or as a student or religious, I don't really care about that.
But it was a really good.
And I think if they stop imposing their way towards other people, they stop fighting. I think that's the basic idea.
Yeah, right.
Give and take on all levels, basically.
It's a question of respect.
Yeah.
People's privacy and if I tell you, I find some people within my own community a bit fanatical, you'll be shocked. As you can see, there are always differences amongst people. But, well, I respect them. I'm not going to fight against them. Do you see the point? I'm just trying to be as open-minded as possible.
But it's a very good thing, because a lot of people see religion as exclusive.
Yeah.
But it's meant to be. It's meant to be. God, I see God as somebody who is actually inclusive. I mean, he's actually, he's actually trying to touch everybody and invite everybody. Okay, in the Bible, you see in the Old Testament, he chose a particular nation, but it doesn't say that was meant to be exclusive. That they were meant to tell other people about who God was. That was the only reason that they were chosen, actually, to actually tell them about God. So it's not. I don't see it as being, although it could be read as being something very exclusive, that people want to channel a certain way, but it's meant to be inclusive.
I think from the earlier discussion, a common thread was really how everybody feels,
A sense
of looking for something, looking for meaning, and how amazing the world is that we live in.
Yeah.
and trying to kind of make sense.
Makes sense.
And trying to live a good life in whatever way that you're trying to do. And that's probably why there's lots of religions and lots of different